and welcome to a special bank holiday edition of Don't Feed the Gondolas. It's special because we came in special to do it. It's been a week in which, after years of complaining about Ireland, former cyclist Stephen Roach is to move out of the country. However, he is going to leave some of his possessions here, including the large banner outside his house which reads, "Sod off back to France, you miserable git." With Brendan O'Connor tonight, a woman who freely admits that she got her current hair colour out of a bottle. A bottle of ketchup, obviously. From the band Dove, it's Hazel Caraswaran. And with Dara O'Brien, a sportscaster who recently told Hot Press magazine that his hobbies included masturbating while watching Alex Ferguson on the television. Case of spot the there, I should think. It's our old pal, Tony O'Donoghue. What's in the news is the sort of thing that's probably a waste of taxpayers' money, that and the straight vodka we all drink while we're on air. We present our guests with big props about which they must make teensy-weensy little guesses about the week's events. Dara and Tony, what have you got?
We have some sort of brush, sweeping broom type of thing, and we have, sorry, Tony, just hold on for a second. And we have one of these, which was obviously stolen off the wall, and I think it just falls upon me to say, Sean, you're not actually supposed to nick this stuff off the wall. It is serving a useful purpose around RTE, this sign. They're not stuck up for their own benefit. At some stage during the news tomorrow, some man's going to walk in and Anne going, "Oh, how are you, Anne? Oh, Jesus, are we on air? Sorry, I didn't see the sign. Oh, sorry, I could just come in for a snog." So it's something to do with broadcasting and something to do with filth, I think. Filth, of which there is too much apparently on the telly and on the radio at the moment. There's been people giving out, Christian groups giving out about stuff like shows like Dawson's Creek. And these various programs. I'm serious about stuff like, because it's full of all these newborn little 17-year-olds who are off doing stuff to each other, and it's appalling stuff altogether. I mean, I'd like to think that the Irish 17-year-olds don't act like that in that horrible, over-sexed, promiscuous kind of way. I'm willing to be proven wrong if there's any 17-year-old girls watching at the moment who'd like to take me up on that little bet. So, hey, I'm free for the summer. Right, so with that little plea in mind from a late 20s desperate man, I'd have to say, filth on the telly, that's what it's about.
Okay. Not that you're looking for a shag.
This is Don't Feed the Gondolas. We are on the air, and I've been told to clean up the show. And basically the jokes have been so bad this series, someone has to go and take a brush and shove it up Brendan O'Connor's.
It's her, not you. It's okay with me.
Well, I'm afraid they do get no points for that. These props refer to the shock news this week that at the recent party in the Dublin branch of Planet Hollywood, Bruce Willis snubbed Marty Whelan. Or at least that's what Marty thinks it was. He couldn't quite hear through the front window. So what props do you have?
We have the game of life, which is a game which allows you to make choices about how you would like to lead your life. And we have these donuts, ring donuts, some people call them, and they've got little chocolate holes in the middle, so I presume this is something to do with Ronan Keating denying. So I would say A.
You'd say A.
A.
Bit of a time travel thing going on there, I think.
Or maybe C.
Hazel, would you agree with that?
No, I can't say Boys On because I'm going to be supporting them in concert. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
When you say supporting them.
Oh, I can't say that either.
Okay.
I think
But you will be keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. Right?
Oh, play with that fake donut, baby.
I think it has something got to do with the RTE canteen.
Put it down now. Far away from you.
I think it's something got to do with RTE canteen selling too many of them, as you can see from Brendan here, who likes them a lot. And as for the game of life, I think you'd want to get you're going to get a good smack of that next week now when you get married. You're just going to have your chain to the kitchen sink.
Look, as I've explained to you, I'm not totally tied to the marriage.
I'm afraid no points for them either. Nowhere near the actual answer. These props refer to in the news this week that there has been a massive fall in the number of job applications to the Gardaí. Apparently the young people today just can't wave at traffic with one hand and scratch their arse with the other like the All-Star Gardaí used to. After all that pain, these scores are, I'm afraid, that Dara's team have no points and Brendan's team have no points. What's going on here is the sort of thing Dara O'Brien says when he wakes up in the toilet. It's inspiring our next round. The teams are shown a smidgen of videotape from which they must guess what is going on here. Dara and Tony, have a look at this.
We have done our homework. We think we know what we're at.
Well, we'll soon find out if they do.
We'll check it out now.
What do you reckon?
It's a construction site of some sort, obviously run by large pink-faced men. Some big tanning factory had a big explosion, and they're all there burnt to a crisp. I don't know, it looks a bit like Boland's Mills, which I know they demolished a few years ago, and this is the 83rd anniversary of the Easter Rising. I think this is the anniversary, and I think when they went to demolish Boland's Mills, they found out that there were still some 1916 lads still there. They're hidden in the back of the factory, and they'd survived for 70 years on cream crackers and custard creams, and they were still talking in Irish, going, "No, not until all the Englishmen have gone." So they lured them out with a load of jammy Dodgers and just said, "Come out, welcome to modern Ireland," and chocolate. And so they came out eventually. There's something to do with that, anyway.
Unlikely.
I'd say so, yeah.
Tony?
So we had Bill inside, we had a policeman in there, we had Alistair Jackson.
Yeah.
I think it's probably rehearsals or auditions even for the new Village People, the Irish version. And I think...
Pink hats, yes, possibly, yeah. I'm afraid no points again. Nowhere near. This is actually a genuine piece of VT where they wanted to blow up a building in Limerick. Just the one building, surprisingly. And to do this, they got together the finest explosive experts in the country.
In a few seconds, 8,000 tons of concrete, standing 100 feet high, should be coming down.
So, let's see what happens tonight. They decided to use a large swinging metal ball.
You'd imagine in this country, out of any other, we'd know how to blow something up. You know what I mean? So, Brendan and Hazel, have a look at this.
It's the Pope signing copies of his new album, because you know the Pope has a new album out. It's called Pater Abba, and it is not, as some people might think, the Pope singing "Mamma Mia." Oh, again. He does a lot. Apparently, what he does is he takes a lot of old songs and he talks over them, and he's hoping to get a hit out of that. I wouldn't know. It's presumably some kind of music industry.
I think it's actually.
Do you know anything about taking an old hit and talking over it?
No.
The Pope is doing songs on this one, like Staying Alive is one of them, apparently. He does Dude Looks Like a Lady. And he's doing a version of I'm Horny. It's called I'm Holy. I'm holy. So that's what I think. It's him doing it at HMV at 3 p.m. last Friday. Dove had just finished up at 2 p.m.
There wasn't very many people there either. I think it's Eamon Casey releasing his new album. I've been sleeping with my housekeeper.
Bit of a literal interpretation of his work there, really. I'm afraid we're still on duck eggs up until now. This is a bit of a record. This is actually all about Dana. What a lot of people don't realise about Dana is that in reality, she's a big, scary giant, capable of shrinking herself for public occasions. Now, first we're going to see the public Dana at her wedding, and then afterwards, as the real Dana goes for a walk in the countryside.
Snowdrops and daffodils, butterflies and bees, sailing
Well, I'm afraid to tell you after that the scores are that Dara's team have no points and Brendan's team have no points. When we return after the break, Hazel Karaswaran speaks of her admiration for Big Tom. Well, she thinks his name was Tom, anyway. Back here in 2 minutes. Welcome back. Welcome back. First, a quick bit of European news. Loughrea, County Galway, has been chosen as the only town in Europe to try using the euro as a currency. The government believes that it shouldn't cause too much confusion in the town, as there's nothing worth much buying there anyway. Time now for State the Nation, where we test how much in tune our contestants are with the average Loughrea consumer on the street. This week we investigated the crisis within the Boys in Blue.
Yes, this week we've come to Rathfarnham in Dublin, because this week in some of the national newspapers it was claimed that this Garda station could be the worst Garda station in Ireland. Apparently these cells are so disgusting the prisoners can't wait to get to Mountjoy. As you can see in this butcher shop, they've sold out of the local delicacy dog meat.
Now, actually, for any Sligo people watching tonight, we did actually shoot questions in Sligo this week as well, but we had a bit of a technical problem with the tape, so we couldn't use it. So in fairness, I should say hello to all the people who spoke to us that day. Hello. So, Brendan, you go first. The question we asked was, this week it was reported that Donegal is the heart attack capital of Ireland. Is it time Donegal people stop jumping out of bushes and saying boo to each other? We asked this man, did he say A, I've a tip for the 255 in Cornchester? B, I'm a strange bunny rabbit? Or C, I support our Lord completely and I'm Michael?
Just think of my face for a minute, if we can get a camera on there, as a map of Ireland, right? And, right, this is Cork and Kerry area down here. That's Galway, where all the drugs come in. Up here, right up here, is Donegal, what we call the frontal lobotomy area of the country. And that's why Donegal has such a problem, it's geography. The thing about the heart attacks and the jumping out of bushes is that it's all they have left. Every other industry has upped and left Donegal. And having said all that, I would say the answer is A.
So the answer is A.
A.
A, okay, let's have a look at the VT and find out.
It was reported in the newspapers this week that Donegal is the heart attack capital of Ireland.
Well, that's the football team, they get the blame for that.
No, it's the county really rather than the football team.
Oh, I don't mean that. You mean it's just a serious conversation
Oh,
about
yeah.
health or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we all know how to look after our health, you know.
Yeah, well, can I ask the question? I haven't asked the question yet. It's just that
Here's a question for you. What's going to win the next race?
haven't quite figured that one out yet. What do you reckon's going to win the next race?
I'll pick out something. It's a possibility. I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Let me see which one now. The 255 at Cornchester, or we call it. At the top weight, the favourite, and he better win today, or I'm broke.
Really? Seriously, bro?
Who is RTE, or?
That's right, Charity.
Will this be shown on the telly?
It might be.
Okay, well, I should be, let me see now.
Well, can I ask you the question anyway? The question is that...
I'm going to ask you a question.
No, I'm going to ask you. The question is that Donegal, it was claimed in the newspapers this week, is the heart attack capital of Ireland. Now, do you think Donegal people should stop jumping out of bushes and saying boo to each other?
Is it that bad up there?
Big problem.
Well, Valium, lots of Valium.
Yeah, you could have a point.
Everyone on Valium in Donegal. I can ask a question now, can I?
Yeah, if you like, yeah.
Is Dublin going to win the All-Ireland this year?
I have no idea whatsoever, and even less interest.
Be beaten, I hope.
Do you reckon?
I think so, yeah. But we've got to watch the likes of, let me see. Galway will be there. Cork has already beat us, I think, but that was only a preliminary. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to a good summer, you know, all round, and let's hope we get the weather, you know. All the rest of the things, I think these things sort themselves out anyway, you know. But a bit of peace and tranquility, and people have the right attitude to look forward to enjoy peace and tranquility, you know, that's all I think. I'm a religious man myself, but I'm a bit of a strong man. I have my own ideas, and I support our Lord completely. That's all I can tell you. God bless.
Thanks very much, Jack.
There you go. First blood there to Brendan. As you probably noticed, he actually said A, B, and C in the course of that. So, Hazel, your question is, this week Boyzone said they wanted the arts group Mockness to make them a set of huge empty heads, but didn't nature beat them to it? We asked this man, did he say Mockness, Mock an arse, more like. B, I've been living in cuckoo land. Or C, I was just saying to my lady wife this morning, there's nothing quite like the feel of sheer silk stockings on one's shaved thighs. Do you know what I mean, Sonny?
Well, I think that Bison have been given some head, all right. I've heard in the last couple of weeks. I think it's going to be A.
You think it's going to be A? Mock an arse, more like. Okay, let's have a look at the VT and find out.
It was.
Who are you?
Sean is my name.
Yeah, but where are you from? RTE, yes.
We're from RTE, yes. It was reported in the newspapers this week that Boyzone want Mockness, the Galway arts group, to make them a set of huge empty heads. But do you not think nature beat them to it?
I know nothing about those kind of things. Nothing. I've been singularly lucky in being isolated from all that type of nonsense.
Where have you been living?
In Cuckoo Land here in North
No points for that one, I'm afraid. It was obvious he was living in cuckoo land. Tony, your question is this. It was reported, and this is back to the Guards question, it was reported this week that there is a massive fall in job applications for the Gardaí. Do you think asking them for a written application was a bad idea? We asked this man, did he say A, did you ever wonder, is there life out there? Are they out there now, working quietly in some barren piece of rock in interstellar space, watching and listening benignly to my muted tones? Anyway, must run, got the squits. Or B, you get the odd one that's a wee bit thick. Or C, so, Mr. Moncrief, finally we meet face to face. Moncrief, the great Moncriefo, Mr. Creefy Pants. Do you think you scare me with your huge creefy pants? Never!
I think I should have to go for B. I want a point.
Okay.
The competitive instinct is
B
coming
and a
out.
point. Okay, all right, let's have a look at the VT and find out.
It was reported this week that there's been a massive fall in job applications for the Gardaí. Do you think asking them to do a written application was a bad idea?
I think it was. You should take them on their fitness and well, ask them questions without having to write out the whole issue of things. Well, any of them that I know were all right, but you get an odd one's a wee bit thick. You know what I mean?
Well done, Tony. 2 points for you.
Yes. No. Yes. I'm not going to do that. Yes. I am on this side of the Atlantic. You put your hands down and you shake, all right? Hey, go away. Honestly.
Okay. Dara, your question is if Mr. LL Cool J there doesn't interrupt.
Oh, wiggy, wiggy, whack, 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 Tony. Waggy, wiggy, whack, whack. Yeah. Pretty fly for a white guy, Tony. Yeah, go on, yeah.
Finally, Dara, your question is this. This week it was revealed that the Minister for Foreign Affairs, David Andrews, ran up a mobile phone bill of over £6,000. Do you think at this stage he knows all he needs to know about lesbian lust girls? We asked this man, did he say, A, that Sean Moncrief is a f***ing thick? B, I've a head for business and a body for sex? Or C, when I was a boy back in the old country, we had a saying, don't crap on your neighbour's doorstep when it's a sunny and there's a Garda car watching you.
The reason he's such a high phone bill is because no matter where he is in Europe, he'll be found ringing the wife going, I know, no, you put down the phone first. I know, no, I can still hear you. No, put down the phone first. Like, and the council of ministers going, tell her to put down the bloody phone, tell her to put down the phone. So I think that's why it's 6,000. I would say A.
You would say A. Oh, abuse for me. Okay, let's look at the VT and find out.
RTE?
That's right, Jack.
Serious?
No, it's serious RTE, yeah. It was reported in the papers this week that the Minister for Foreign Affairs, David Andrews, ran up a mobile phone bill of over £6,000. Do you think at this stage he'd know all he'd need to know about lesbian lust girls?
Yeah, you have me on now. That's a joke.
No, he did run up a mobile phone bill of £6,000.
What's that got to do with lesbian, whatever you're talking about?
Lesbian lust girls.
Lesbian lust girls? What are they? Now you, the f***ing big smile in the man's face now. You're blowing it now, you're at the blowing it. Why is he laughing?
I don't know, he's a happy chap.
It's RTE, that's it. Now, RTE, I'm going to ring up RTE now. When I get home and ask them out, have they got reporters in Rathfarm Village? And what's that got to do with the Minister of what?
Foreign Affairs.
And who's they?
David Andrews.
You're trying to slag off David Andrews now, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's your game, is it? I can slag him off, he's a nice man.
All right, so sir, thanks very much.
No.
Okay.
Is there any other politicians you want to talk about around the area? Yeah, just Tom Pitt, Seamus Brennan, Liz O'Donnell. That's the other fella, Alan Shatter, and Olivia Mitchell. That's the 5. Do you want to have a word on them? No?
No.
Just David Andrews. So you want to get into David Andrews, in other words? Huh?
Well, that seems to wrap it up then, really. Thanks very much.
Is there not anything yet? Probably empty.
No, it's not.
What?
Monday night, 9:30, Network 2.
And what do we get out with this?
Well, you can get your agent to fax us. You can get your agent to fax us. They'll take a big... Yeah, no, unfortunately, no. I don't have it to give.
Jeez. 48. 9:30.
9:30. Network 2, 9:30.
Who's on it now?
It's a program called Don't Feed the Gondolas.
Yeah, that's not on at 9:30.
And what time is it on it?
Huh?
What time is it on it?
This other Sean Moncrieff, whoever he is, another fucking pig. What the...
That man is a complete genius, in my opinion. So after all that, the scores after that round are that Dara's team got 4 points and Brendan's team got 2 points. In just over 2 minutes' time, we will find ourselves at the end of our next round, 60 seconds of facts. The team get asked a minute's worth of questions about the week's events. They get a point for the right answer, or 2 if they can raise a cackle from our studio audience. So, Dara and Tony, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. According to a new survey, more young Irish women are having underage sex, taking stupid risks, and then being left disappointed by what?
Underage men.
Boring lovemaking. I'll give you 3 points for that, actually. Bertie Ahern said last week that apart from America, Ireland is the world's biggest exporter of what?
Politicians. Exporting crap to Americans. They love
Software is the actual answer there. Despite being the most powerful Catholic on earth, Pope John Paul is having trouble shifting his what?
Shifting his way around the junior disco.
Shifting his ass.
CDs is the actual answer. Last week, Fatboy Slim confessed he snorted cocaine off what?
Off Dwarf, I don't know. Off
Phoebe Baskin's arse.
Yeah.
Train tracks, I'll give you 2 points for that. According to the boss of Beamish and Crawford, super pubs are posing a major threat to what?
To local wildlife.
Beamish.
Traditional pubs is the actual answer. According to a newspaper last week, Dolores O'Riordan said her face used to be like what?
A deterrent.
Back of a bus is the actual answer. Last week, Pamela Anderson refused to appear on Pat Kenny's what?
Enormous ego.
Home videos.
Show.
She's afraid of heights.
Show is the actual answer there. Okay, so Brendan and Hazel, well done lads. Your 60 seconds of facts starts now. Ash's new video features 2 women indulging in group what?
In the group cert.
3 points for getting it right on a laugh. Stephen Roach is planning to keep an Irish what?
Man.
Base is the actual answer there. During shooting in New York, Brenda Fricker blew £1,000 on what?
Liposuction.
No signs of that. Phone calls to her dogs is the actual answer.
Nanny Cafferty, phone calls to her dog.
Mia Farrow wants to call her new adopted child what?
No, Woody.
Frank Sinatra is the actual answer there. Millionaire rocker Joe Elliott has become the latest victim of what?
The Millennium Bug.
Clampers is the actual answer.
Shutdown.
Supermodel Christy Brinkley has found true happiness thanks to what?
Marty Whelan.
More relaxed attitude. In his autobiography, John Aldridge said that he proved Kenny Dalglish was what?
Marty Whelan.
Wrong is the actual answer. When he retires, Gay Byrne is in line for Ireland's top what?
Ireland's top retirement. It's going to be huge.
Award is the actual answer there. So after all that dizzy excitement, the final scores are that Brendan's team got 9 points, but Dara's team got 11 points, and they're tonight's winners.
Campeones, ole, ole, ole.
Tony, you get older someday and you realise that winning isn't everything.
Thus ends another transmission, in the process adding to the list of Dublin neighbourhoods I have to drive around on my way home. Love and gratitude to Brendan's guest, the boyish yet manly Hazel Caraswaran. And with Dara, the young yet womanly Tony O'Donoghue. But as we go, I have to tell you that we won't be on the air next week, as we'll all be attending the wedding of Mr. Brendan O'Connor. However, we will be back in a fortnight with a special team captain to keep Brendan's seat warm while he's on his honeymoon, something Brendan himself will be doing, no doubt, I'm sure. But, I had to do one of them jokes, sorry, I know it's crap. But finally, back to that story about Bruce Willis snubbing Marty Whelan at the Planet Hollywood party. Earlier on, I rang up Planet Hollywood in New York to make a plea to Mr. Willis on behalf of a small village in the west of Ireland. Thanks for helping us feed the gondolas. Good night.
Planet Hollywood Ulster Cafe Sales. This is Meredith.
Oh, hello. I'm ringing you from Ireland. I just wanted to make a comment to somebody about Planet Hollywood. Do you have someone there that I could speak to for a second?
Actually, I'm the only person here at this moment.
Well, could I just leave this with you then, please?
Sure.
Okay, right. No, I'm ringing you from Ireland, from a little village in the west of Ireland called Ahascraw. I don't know if you know it. You don't know it?
Yeah.
Sure, why would you? It's only a tiny wee place. Anyway, I'm ringing up because we have a Planet Hollywood here in Ireland. It's up in Dublin. You see, now, I've never been to it now. I've never been to Dublin, actually, to be honest with you. Now, but do you know Marty Whelan?
Excuse me?
Marty Whelan.
No.
He has a moustache. He looks like one of the Marx brothers.
No.
You don't know him. You mustn't get open house over there then. That must be what it is. Anyway, see, there was a party here, you see, now, the last week. And Bruce Willis was there. And Marty Whelan went up to him, you see. And apparently, according to the papers, he snubbed Marty. Now, I'm sure he didn't mean to. He probably thought he was a waiter or something like that, you know. But the whole country is torn apart with the whole thing, that there might be a bit of a rift between them, you know. And what I really wanted to say was that, you know, if they could make up, you see, and now down in the Ahascraw, it's a very peaceful place, and we actually have a little set of nuns here. You know, there's only a half dozen of them, but they have a little conclave. You know, they're called the Sisters of the Gaping Wound of the Tormented Martyrs. You know, and they could go there and kind of make up, was what we were thinking. You know, and we have lovely B&Bs they could stay in. You know, do you know? Does Mr. Willis, does he enjoy donkeys at all?
I really don't know anything. I just work here.
Oh, right, okay, but we have lovely donkey rides here out to the bridge and back. You know, it's about 200 yards now, so you get a good ride out of the donkey, you know. But I just thought if maybe you could pass that message on to him, you know, because the country is torn apart here, really, with the whole thing. Well, thanks very much for talking to me anyway.
Sure.
Okay, well, you have a nice day now.
You too.
Okay, now, are you living in New York now? Is that where you are? You know what I always want to ask somebody now in America? You know, free love. How does that work exactly?